Okay, it's been a while since I've done a little training video, but I was sitting and thinking about a few things that I've seen, particularly with the school agers. So I'm feeling a shift, you guys, in the school age feel, okay? It just feels tense and like the kids are kind of angry and the staff are kind of angry. So we want to try and shift that the right way. I want to try and motivate you to make that feel better for you, for them, for everyone. So a couple things I've seen that just are gonna set the tone for kind of a rough time. So try and avoid these things or try and do these things, I guess, if you can, because it sets you up for success, right? Yes, no questions. That's the first thing I saw. I've heard about 5 of them this week. Do you want to? If no isn't an acceptable answer, you shouldn't ask a yes or no question. Because now you've put yourself in a pickle, basically. So looking forward down the road, if they say no, what are you gonna do, right? Like, what's the plan then? So I've seen a couple of people say, or heard a couple of people ask yes or no question, where when the kids said no, they went, well, we have to. So don't ask, do you want to, unless they can say no. Do you want some breakfast? Completely fine. They can say no, right? But if it's, do you want to put on sunscreen? And they have to put on sunscreen, then don't ask that question. Try and get in the habit. It's hard because that's just kind of how we talk to kids, okay? Second thing, always give choice where you can. It helps give them power. Kids spend their entire lives being told what to do. It's super annoying. And we expect things of kids that we would never expect of adults. We don't walk around telling adults what to do. We don't do that. Because once you hit a certain age, we have this idea in our head that you've earned some type of privilege where you don't have to endure that anymore. It doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So this generation is really focusing on, and I really think it's important to give kids choice where you can, right? We get to choose what we want to do. You turn 18 and for some reason you get to choose if you want to eat McDonald's for every meal, but we tell kids no, 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 no all day long, and we don't give them choice. It's not right. It's not really fair. Kids might not always know what's best for them, but they can choose between if they want to play blocks or Barbies. If they want to go now or in 20 minutes. So give them choice wherever you can. Now, sometimes they don't get a choice, and that is part of being a kid versus an adult. Yes, I understand that. Sometimes there's no choice, particularly if it has to do with anything having to do with safety, or sometimes the schedule just has to move how it moves. I understand that. So I'm not saying give them a choice all the time, but I am saying where you can give power to make choices, because then they'll be able to make choices when they're adults. They'll understand the consequences that come with certain choices. Okay, so we want to give them practice in making choices, and also it sets you up for success to be able for them to feel that autonomy and power. It also creates an environment of respect where they're more likely to listen to you then when you're not giving a choice, because they're going, oh, okay, this is more serious because she gives me choices sometimes, or he. Okay, warning for transitions. Make sure you're giving good warning for transitions, not just, okay, we're done. Kids, it's a frontal lobe switch, okay, in your brain, talking about the brain chemistry of that. No one likes, if you're reading a book on your phone and someone comes up to you and yanks it out of your hand, rage, right? If there's something you're really into and someone just comes along and says, okay, we're done. Again, that's something that we would never do to an adult, but we do to kids all the time. And it's rude and disrespectful, honestly, to do that, to just say, okay, I see you're really into that, but you're done, put it away. Make sure we're giving warnings. Honestly, it's just a respect thing for all people, right? Like, you wouldn't just show up at your friend's house and say, hey, we're going, or maybe you would and think that's fun, but no, you give people warning for what the plan is. And we do that with adults seamlessly because it's expected, but with kids, we just kind of forego that rule. And it creates a culture of disrespect and frustration that they always have to do what someone says, even if it doesn't make sense to them, or even if they're really enjoying something, they just have to drop it and go. And that would make us so irritable. So remember that it's going to make them so irritable. Okay, so 3 things that are going to, those are kind of the baselines of behavior, okay, to try and set yourself up for success. Those are just 3 things that we should try and be doing as a culture to set ourselves up for hopefully less behavior, okay? I'll talk about things like consistency and other things in my next. I like doing videos. I don't know why. It just makes it feel a little more personable and like you don't have to read this long text. So like this video when you've watched it. Thank you for watching my TED Talk.